And we're live. All right. How are y'all feeling today? I was gonna be here. I'm not. I'm really actually good right now. I'm not. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm not sad at all because this is exactly what my mind's eye saw at the beginning of the season. When I'll say this because I said it a billion. I said it a billion times. I was. What's up? What's up, Calvin? I was like begging Dak Prescott not to take a snap. I said, Dak Prescott, you'll be the dumbest human being if you take a snap this season with this upcoming roster. Everybody and their mama knew this roster was bad. And if you take a snap and if you play quarterback this year with this roster, you're going to be bad. It's not going to be a good season. There's no way it can happen. And then also with a offensive line with two rookies, you're probably going to get hurt. And I won't say that's the reason why he got hurt was his offensive line or whatever, but he had to run. In this game, he ran. In this game, he ran. I think he ran 30 yards. I think he still has the longest run of the season so far. So he finally ran, and maybe he shouldn't have ran. Maybe he should have weapons, like I've been saying for years after years after years. Get this man some weapons. But now, after yesterday, during the game, during the 49er game, I was too mad at Dak Prescott for contributing to the demise of the team right there. I mean, he made a huge contribution with that interception. And I know McCarthy took blame for that particular interception, but I still, would have rather him run out of bounds and just punt the ball away. They may have scored anyway or whatever. I don't care. I still would have not liked him to have that interception right there. So I was really mad at him, and I didn't get on McCarthy as much as I should have for the things that he did in that drive, for the 9 straight passes that ended up in interception, for that return, that reverse return thing that was just set us up in the worst way. All of that stuff was Mike McCarthy. And then this week was the fake punt was like, just go for it. Just go for it. That was horrible. Not only that, Dak was like either 9-9 or 10-10. Do you remember the point of the game? Beginning of the game, he was either he was hitting everything, and then we went to 3rd and 1, and we ran on 3rd and 1, and I said 3rd and 1 is 2nd and 1. Excuse me, 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. No, 3rd and 1. Excuse me, I'm all right. 3rd and 1 is a passing down with the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have the offensive line. We don't have the running back. We don't have anything to be able to bear down and get that 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, you better throw the ball. Oh, sorry. That was my phone. But 3rd and 1, you better throw the ball. We handed the ball off to Rico. Shut it down. And then, I don't know if they had more, because I looked at the tape and thank goodness I played these video games and I understand the philosophy of it. But they had more guys in their box on defense than we had on offense to block that box. And then we did an end around with CeeDee Lamb. And on the end around, if there's any leakage in that blockage and let one guy through, they're going to take CeeDee Lamb out in the backfield. And that's exactly what happened. Player R2 just slipped through the blocks, and they took out CD. It was like, it was, what's up, C? What's up, Tipsy? But it's like, I said right then he should be fired. But I don't know. I just don't understand the whole Mike McCarthy situation. I really don't. I don't know why we're holding on to him. I don't know why he's here this year. We've always said he was the lamest of the lame duck coaches that we've ever seen. He contributes to this whole mess of a year by being a lame duck coach that that nobody believes in. So I wish Zach Martin looks like he's the biggest liability online right now. I don't know what's going on with Zach. No, he's not gonna be fired. So I am. This is how I am right now. I am. not. I know. And not only that. No. B Nickel. When you're a $60 million quarterback who is the biggest company man that does whatever you say, will run out there on the field with whoever you tell him to run out there for him. If he says we effing suck, you've lost your quarterback now. Thank goodness. Yay. Finally, Dak Prescott, just boom. Things are starting to pop up there in the head. Good morning, Christy. This quarterback sneak. That's why I said that. I said that in real time, Jace. I said that quarterback sneak twice. Yeah, Zach is. Yeah. No, they don't know the quarterback is limited, because if you did know your quarterback is limited, then you would have the adequate weapons for your quarterback. If you knew your quarterback was limited, you would have adequate. And I don't think he was limited. You saw yesterday Dak Prescott could run if he wanted to run, and the fact that he hasn't run is the reason why his hamstring was like, whoa, what's going on in here, dude? What are you doing? We hadn't ran in years. They created Dak Prescott into that mobile statue quarterback. It was him trying to do something. You know what it felt like? It felt like me. I was out there a couple of years ago in my backyard, and we were playing basketball, and my nephew and his friends was begging me to come play with them. I was like, play Uncle Dan. I'm like, no, dude, I'm old. And I was like, I made a move to the basket, and everything moved except my legs. I was like, whoa, what happened? I said, I was supposed to be up in the air. If you don't use them, if you don't run and don't use them and things like that, then, it's going to be, it's going to injure themselves or whatever. So, I don't know. But if this was me and my Madden team, and I just lost my quarterback for, I think they say Dak is gone for 2 to 8 weeks, which is like, shut him down. Please shut him down. Shut Dak down. Shut CD down. There is no reason to put any more stress on their body and get another injury that could stop the next season or whatever. Shut them down. Allow McCarthy to see if he can win with Cooper Rush that we come into. I mean, we got some decently hard games coming up, but all these games are winnable. All the games are winnable. So if Mike McCarthy can actually call a good game, get something out of our running backs, figure out how to block or whatever, and get production out of Cooper Rush, then McCarthy will earn his job. But there's no reason to play with Dak Prescott anymore. We're not going to no playoffs now. We're not CeeDee Lamb. There's no reason for CeeDee Lamb to go be out there. There's no reason for you to have paid all this money to these two people and then put them out there to get hurt. Trey Lance needs reps. It might click with him. Who knows? It might click with Trey Lance, and we have somebody that's going to run. But who knows? They'll probably turn Trey Lance into Romo. That's probably Trey Lance's problem right now. The reason why how many interceptions did he throw in that game? That might be the reason why that happened. They was trying to turn him into Romo. A smart team would be tanking right now. We got winnable games, and Cooper Rush is not bad. Cooper Rush, I used to hate Cooper Rush. I do not hate Cooper Rush anymore. Cooper is not bad. I mean, like against the Panthers, that's 4 wins. against the Giants. That's 5 wins. If we can slip up and beat the Commanders or one of those two, you know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see us getting close to 7 wins and getting and McCarthy staying here. I can, because they're looking for any excuse to keep him. They always look for excuses to see him. So you're right, Jace. But Jerry isn't going to shut it down because he wants to make money for that Thanksgiving game. Wait, he's not gonna have Dak. David Nelson, I would say the Jacksonville Jaguars are pretty much close to the Dallas Cowboys as far as bad teams in the NFL right now. And yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles, they made some fantastic plays. I mean, Devonta caught a touchdown pass that was just utterly ridiculous. Saquon Barkley jumped over a dude backwards, all of that stuff. And Trevor Lawrence should have beat him at the end of the game. I'm still sitting here, don't know what Trevor Lawrence was thinking at the end of that football game about throwing that ball or trying to score that quickly. What were they trying to give the ball back to the Eagles? So I can't look at that game and the Texans lost. I can't look at those guys as being, oh my God, they're so big, doing so good when they're really not doing anything great out there. They're not. Atlanta actually was. Atlanta actually is putting up some good games. That's what I said, Bear. That's exactly what I said when Devonta caught that pass. I said that's what talent does. The same thing I was saying during our stream when Bijan was making like ridiculous cuts. I said that's what an elite running back looks like. He will go one way and then he'll cut the other way and get you 10 yards where you didn't think you're gonna get any yards. Yeah, T-Law was really dumb for that play. I was playing a game and I stopped the game, took off my headphones, and I just stared at that last drive. And then when they got close to the scoring to beat Philadelphia, it was like they went straight for the jugular. And even if they had scored that touchdown, Philadelphia wins. Because they're going to throw a big bomb to AJ, and AJ's going to outman somebody, or Devonta is going to make a stupid catch like he's been making all game, and they're going to get in field goal range, and they're going to win the game. Why wouldn't you just drain the clock, and the game depends on whether you get in the end zone or not? That's what made sense to me. But, stupidity is, we're not the only stupid team in the NFL is the point I'm trying to make. We're dumb. We're bad. We're stupid. But there's some more. I've tried to explain that to a lot of people. We're not the only dumb one. Now, the better draft pick, the better. That's how I'm looking at this thing right now. Everybody's saying Ashton Genty. I had pushed that Ashton Genty stuff out of my brain. But, if we end up being, I think we're at 11 now. If we keep rising in this draft, you got to get a splash player. You know what I'm saying? If you go up in that top 7, 8 range or whatever, you got to get a stud. You got to get a game changer. This franchise is an utter disgrace. It was an utter disgrace before kickoff the season started. How much blame should McCarthy get because his roster in trash? Just like a lot of it, just like I blame Dak, M Skills. Just like I blame Dak, I blame McCarthy, because both of them, the roster went to trash on their watch. And they didn't, quarterbacks, you got to demand what you need to win if you're a quarterback. You have to demand what you need to win as a quarterback. You have to. And as a coach, you have to demand the players that you need to win. And on the same thing, it's both of them. So yes, I hold both the roster. I hold both of them accountable. Ashton, that's my thing, Tipsy Cowboy. Ashton would still suck with the O-line. So it really makes sense to get that O-line right before you do anything. But hopefully all this money we have. That's another thing I was thinking. Hopefully, and that's the way I would do it if I was Shango rebuild. This is how I would do it. We got a lot of money right now. We got a lot of money. So with that money, I would go out and get established NFL talent for the trenches. I would get offensive line. That's how Atlanta built their offensive line. They got a nice offensive line. So I would build an offensive line and defensive line through established NFL talent. Because, as I was trying to tell everybody this season, it takes a long time for a young offensive lineman to develop. And people in the Cowboy land were expecting our two rookies to be world beaters in a rookie year. And that's just not feasible. Heck, Guyton could have been our worst player yesterday, man. And he might turn out to be one of our best offensive linemen. But it just takes a while for offensive linemen, defensive linemen to figure out the game. Sometimes they never do, Mozzie. But it still takes a while. So I would, as me, GM Shango would do my due diligence, know exactly what type of offense I'm going to run, exactly who's going to be my offensive coordinator, exactly the scheme, if it's a zone run, zone this, power scheme, whatever. And I would get the adequate personnel that has tape of him doing awesome things in the NFL. I would pay them money to go into the trenches of this football team. And then in this draft, I would get weapons. This draft is so full of weapons, it's ridiculous. You could load up with weapons in this draft and just run through the league like crazy. You could. I mean, you could. I would not waste a dime on a retread wide receiver from another team or a retread defensive back from another team because if they're studs, they're not going to leave their team. I would go get people in the draft for that. I would go get the fastest guys. I would go get the best route runners. I would go get the best running backs. You know what I'm saying? That's how I rebuild this football team. Tyron and Zach had us spoiled, I know. They should have kept Tyron and had Guyton working. This season just weirds me out from the beginning. And I'm telling you guys, that's why you look, man. I'm glad I'm me because if something don't feel right, it don't feel right. And when we drafted Guyton, nothing looked great there other than his potential. It was all that's the only thing that was the glaring thing when we drafted Guyton was him being a project and he could be absolutely amazing. He could be. So we left with that could be. Now, I was thinking the could be was years coming down the pipe. But then, I go, a little vacation, come back, and they're at training camp talking about, Tyler Guyton is going to be starting left tackle. He's this, he's going to be this. I got Baldy, making videos talking about how he's crushing people in preseason and all this kind of stuff and just juice the Cowboy fan base up. But in reality, that just does not happen. He's got to take his L's this year. We got to take the L's, and we lost the quarterback already. I'm not going to say it was because of that, but the quarterback definitely got beat up because of it, and the quarterback definitely was on the run because he couldn't stand in the pocket. That's why he knew he had to run. So on a level, it was there. No, this doesn't deserve a Seahawks level meltdown because this summer was a long meltdown for me because I paid no attention to the Dallas Cowboys whatsoever. And that's what they deserve right now. They deserve to be ignored. They don't deserve any kind of emotion. They don't deserve any kind of anger. They don't deserve anything right now because It's to that point. I think I told you about it. It's like when a relationship is over, you don't even have any emotion anymore. I don't know. Number one guy, dude, I am going all in on voting right now. Good morning, Blaine. Yeah, Tyron's been bad this season. He has, but maybe Tyron could have helped him out with his knowledge. Tyron looks bad because of the continuity. Him and Tyler Zach knew each other very well. Yeah, you can tell this team was going to be bad a long time ago. A long time ago. Yeah, Guyton's 3 penalties a game. The Zeke re-signing was definitely a mistake. I think they realized that. I don't know what's going on with Zeke, but I think they saying that they have buyers for Zeke, which is like weird. I don't think you got buyers for Zeke. How do you have buyers for Zeke and Zeke couldn't? How do you have buyers from Zeke and Zeke couldn't? He stayed on the free agency forever before New England got him, and then you just trashed him here saying he don't go to meetings and all that kind of stuff. How does Zeke have buyers? You know what I'm saying? Everything is just weird. Everything is just weird. What's up, Eva Rubber Ducky? Jerry's going to keep this team in losing fashion as long as he is GM. That comment by McCarthy on the running backs the other day verified that Jerry is calling the shots on who's on the field. Yep. Good morning to the Sidika. Anyone who's realistic trade bait for capital, Bland or Diggs, I don't know, man. I don't know. I trade anybody. I mean, there's nobody. I mean, the only two people. If I was remaking this roster, I probably would have traded Dak for something. I definitely would have. I probably would have done that. Definitely. I would have kept CD and I probably would have traded Dak. But I can see in the real world, because it's easy to find a quarterback when you're playing Madden or something like that. It's not that easy to find a quarterback when you're in the real NFL. So I say that in the real NFL, those are probably the two that if you're going to remake this roster, you need those two to remake this roster in. I wouldn't get rid of Ferguson either. Google must die is tricking people. What's the twist, Google? What's the twist, Google? Thank you, Evil. But everybody, thank you for watching the show. Hopefully, it's going to get us a really good man cave. Did I tell you I'm probably going to have to move to Atlanta? I'm probably going to be moving to Atlanta. That's why we stopped all production. I'm still getting the Jumbotron made, but we're in the process of looking at houses in Atlanta because we're going to move to Atlanta until Found is done, and then I'm coming back to LA. I told her my California driver's license is you were pried from my cold dead hands. I'm not leaving California. The only way I leave California is I go the north way. I go up to Oregon. That's the only places I go. I like Oregon. I would trade Micah. Defense is a team thing. Yeah, I'll be down there, Ducky, in the humidity. Leave Ferguson alone, recruiter. That's my boy. Yeah, moving like that. Hey, Calvin, you've been here a long time. This right here is the longest I have ever been in a spot. That's what my mom was laughing at us. It's like, this is the longest y'all ever been in a house. This is we're literally flippers in LA. We'll buy a house and live in it for a few years and then sell it. No, 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 no. Can't leave California. I can't leave California. Yes, I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina. That's why I don't want to go back to Georgia. I'm from there. You heard the there? I'm from there. They need to go back to a 3-4 defense. Yeah, a lot of shooting is happening in Atlanta. But I don't want to say his name because I don't want to say people's name. But the guy in charge of the place out here in California just put out a $750 million bill that they have to get signed, to where they're trying to bring all of Hollywood back, because Hollywood has been decimated. All the workers, all the grips, and the people that work on the sets, they don't have jobs right now because all the jobs have went to Atlanta and Vancouver and New York and all that kind of stuff, because it's cheaper for productions to shoot in other spots because they get tax breaks or whatever. So now California is going to match all those, or going to beat all those tax breaks, and they're going to give a whole bunch of money to the industry to try to bring all that stuff back to LA. So LA's trying to, bring it back, but man, I don't go up there. I don't like LA either. I don't hang around in LA. Deezen, like Mr. Pokemaster says, let me ask you all a question. Which player at what position on this team would you not find on another one of the 32 and you would keep over another team? Hold on, that's a good question. Because that shows how bad our roster is. I know, I can't do it right. What player at what position on this team would you not find on another one of the 32 teams that would keep over another team? I'm trying to make sure. I think I understand what you're saying there. Like, what player on our team would I not find on another team? I'm lost. Could you write it one more time? Because I think I know exactly what you're saying. Cost of living in Cali is ridiculous. Yes, B macro, but okay. Did you hear what I was trying to explain this to my wife, and this is how when they start talking about cost of living and taxes and all this kind of stuff, it's all political. It's all political because cost of living is high, but you make more money. And as soon as we came to California with nothing. I mean, we just had enough to pay our rent for our condo. And I remember this man in the grocery store. We lived in a grocery store, and I had just moved there. And he said, "Son, there's some gold in California." And I know my wife is on television and all that kind of stuff. We built everything in California through her working it as a bartender and me working at Microsoft, buying a house, selling the house, buying another house, selling the house, buying another house, selling the house. So all that stuff, yeah, we paid high property taxes on that stuff because you do that in California. But boy, when you put that number next to the number, it ain't even close. It ain't even close. And the real estate in California, it is always this. It may dip a little bit, but then it'll take off. So it's always on a climb. And there's people out here, older people that have owned their house for like 30 years that are just like stupid rich now. And it's just because they own their house. So that was my plug for California. So like if I showed you my property taxes, you would probably pass out like. But then if I show you how much my house have went up in 3 years, you'd be like, so yeah. There you go. That's the Google that I love. Google must die. Taxation is theft. 100%. Working actors is a real thing. Yeah, man. I had to force Shanola to quit because she can't not have income coming in. So I had to literally force her to quit her bartending job because she was getting paid so well in that bartending job. But I had to force her to stop bartending so she can focus on her acting because she was in LA to act, not to be a bartender. So but then she went back. She couldn't take it. But that separation made her focus more on her acting, and she got out of it soon after that. So like at wide receiver, here we go. So like at wide receiver, would you rather have CD or would you rather have Zach Martin or I would rather have Amon Ra rather than CD. I would rather have Amon Ra rather than CD because I feel like I can find another CD in the drafts. Every single draft, there's someone with the skills of a CD, a Lamb or whatever. That what Amon Ra brings is special. It's like a dude that's always open and he's strong and he can run like a running back and he's good. So yeah, Amon Ra is the one who makes that offense run, in my opinion. And he did that headstand yesterday. So yeah, I would definitely rather have Amon Ra. Oh, that and Larry H. That's where I'm heading. I haven't lived in Los Angeles, so where I live is different, and this is like more of a community. We have houses with yards and stuff. It doesn't feel like Hollywood. And I remember when we came to Hollywood, I was like, I can't live here. Nope, I'm not living here. I can't do it. And we were literally arguing while we were driving down the road. And I was saying how I couldn't live in Los Angeles. I couldn't live in Los Angeles. And we went on the outskirts and it got much better. So Larry H., I think we're going on the outskirts toward San Diego, down toward La Jolla and all that kind of stuff. I think that's where that's where I'm gonna move out. Shango, but that's our friend, B. Mackle, that's on Selling Sunset. She's Shanola's. She's a very good friend of Shanola. She comes here a lot. Yeah, he blocks too, Larry H. Yes, Amon Ra is the one that I would want probably over. Shoot. He's the special one. I mean, Tyreek Hill is special, but he's old. What's up, Cal? I don't know. No, Cal Cullen says reality has officially set in for Mike and Jerry. No. You know what's going to happen. Cal, you've been here as long as I've been here. They're going to blame the injuries. Only way Mike gets fired if Mike just flames out versus these teams that were not as good as the teams we played earlier. We played playoff teams earlier. We're going through a stretch where we're going to play teams that are fighting to get into playoffs. So if he flames out there, then he's going to be a scapegoat. They're going to use him, and they're going to use the injuries, and it was just a bad season. They won't take any ownership on how bad this roster was constructed. And I said the only thing other than that, as if this whole thing was purposeful, and that's the only thing I can figure out because everybody in their mama. I said that twice today. Everybody in their mama knew that this roster had serious holes in it, and we're coming to the organization like, hey, what are you gonna do? You got holes here. What are you gonna do? And they're sitting there saying, We still like our guys and this and that, blah, blah, blah. We're, and still pushing back on getting people that are like going right, walking right past him, like Amari Cooper ran right past him. What's his name from the Panthers? Wide receiver walked right past him. Devonta Hops walked right past him. There was wide receivers. It's like. Yeah, exactly. I don't like my kids in LA. When Cal Cullen said people don't realize the difference between living in California, living in the Carolina. Oh, I thought it said Carolina, California. Living in the Carolinas and going to LA like night and day. Yeah, but LA, I don't. This is like a mixture, Cal, because I have like a Carolina. I have a house, a community feel out here with people, and it's not like LA when there's homeless people you have to step over. I couldn't imagine having my children anywhere near LA, and having to move around LA and always walking. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine it. Fourth down on your own 36 in your fave. Exactly. This is crazy. It's crazy how that man has a job after the 2 weeks. B Mackerel. We forgot about last week. B Mackerel. B Mackerel. B Mackerel. I blame Dak Prescott because I was mad at Dak Prescott, right? I was infuriated all night long for the next couple days at Dak Prescott for being a part of that, whatever. But in reality, the last game, when the run game was actually kind of working, and we should have just walked that thing down at halftime, drained the clock, and at worst kicked the field goal, we stopped running. And from that point at the half, we started 9 straight passes. 9 straight passes. And before one of those passes, we did a stupid kickoff return, a reverse that was stupid and did not need to happen. But all out of those 9 passes, the 9th pass was that stupid interception by Dak that ended the ball game. But that was a progression of horrible way to end the half by just throwing the ball and stop running the ball, and then horrible way to start the half with a stupid kickoff return reverse thing, and put us in a ridiculous situation where your quarterback has to press, and he did it, and he messed up, and game right there, that moment. That was McCarthy. In reality, that was McCarthy. He even took the blame for the pass because he said he drew it wrong, whatever. He took the whole blame for that play. So I can easily give that to him. I'm still mad at Dak the same amount, though, because he should have ran out of bounds. Don't contribute. It's shameful they're going to blame injuries. They're going to 100% blame injuries. 100%. And that's what I left this on the thing today. Darren Bland, Andrew Booth, KJ Henry, Matt Willensko, Trey Lance, Ezekiel Elliott. And I looked at the Falcons inactives, and it wasn't that bad. Troy Anderson is fast running linebacker, but it didn't look like anybody there that was like overwhelming that they were going to be without. But with us, the first guy, Micah Parsons, and then DeMarcus Lawrence, and then you know what I'm saying. We had a lot still out, so it was like. They're gonna have the ammunition to say it was injuries. But we all know, even if this team was fully healthy, its max is 9 wins, in my opinion. Billy Murphy said you lived in San Diego in 78, 87, 88. La Jolla's nice. Yeah, that's what spot my wife really loves. Willie Klondike says, Shango, since we can't draft a quarterback, we're going to have a top 5 pick. What are we drafting? I want excitement, Willie Klondike. I want excitement. If we do get a offensive lineman and with the top 5 pick, he better be the best offensive lineman we've ever had. He better turn out to be the best we ever had. I would say that, yeah, trade back, Big Dow. If we have number 5, my I would be team trade back 100%. Not even Ashton Genty. Team trade back. All right, I have to run, take the kids to school. Oh, they're restructured back, wrong. Yeah. I think Dak next year, Dak and CeeDee Lamb, but they're both going to restructure, and we're going to have a lot of space. We're going to have a lot of space. Thank Magnum. Mag Tour. Thank you for the follow. All right, guys. I'll holler at you later. Mommy's sick, so I got to do the breakfast and all that kind of stuff as well as taking the school this morning. And then I'm coming home and I'm